We're on.
This is Hannah.
And Calissa.
And Sarah.
How come you have to sing a song?
I feel like Sarah always goes last.
I do go last. That's just how it goes.
Okay.
That's how it goes.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Anyways, this is 30 Crying and Trying, and I'm going to start us off today.
Ooh.
I know, I'm feeling very special.
She's very passionate about this topic.
Kind of, yeah, because I feel like it's just stupid, okay? Anyways, I wanted to start off with toxic wife behavior today. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like this is like high school Hannah that we're talking about here, okay?
High school
But as an adult.
current.
Okay. Anyways, I was on TikTok as usual, as I usually am.
As per usual.
Yes. Like yesterday, 2 days ago, I don't even remember when I wrote this down. But I see some trends going around, specifically from one creator, and I don't know her name. I'm sorry. I don't know if she wants to be called out this way, but I am.
Well, we're such a popular podcast. She's going to get so much hate
gonna
from
be
our
canceled.
audience.
Anyways, she like makes these daily questions, and the first one that I saw was, women, you should go to your husband and say, name a woman, and if he doesn't say you, then you should start a fight. And I don't know how I feel about this. The second one that I saw was, women, you should go to your husband and ask him, what are you afraid of? And if he doesn't say you or losing you, you need to start a fight. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah.
That's so
I was just
toxic.
curious, like, how you guys felt about it. And
It's very
just
immature, and it's kind of like wanting the wrong kind of attention.
yeah.
Does she claim to, like, I don't know, does she claim to be toxic?
No. And I think, honestly, I think that she's just like silly, goofy fun, and it's all in good humor. But it's like hard because...
Tell me you're unhappy in your marriage without telling me you're unhappy.
Right,
in
looking
your
for
marriage.
validation. And I did this actually with Cal in the first one, and he passed. And I was like,
What do you do?
he said, you, obviously. Duh.
He's
You're
scared
sitting
of
right
you?
here. No,
No.
like name a woman thing. And he was like, you're literally sitting right in front of me. Obviously, I'm going to say you. And I said, okay.
Well,
So-
now I'm curious. Now I'm going to ask Nick.
And like, these questions are stupid. I thought it was funny just because I've seen some of the people's answers. That's how I originally found this woman. And they were funny. And it was like a silly, goofy joke. And
Right. But then some people take it to a whole
yeah,
new
and I think
level.
that's where like you have to be really careful because then it's like toxic and you're a crazy person.
Why do you want to fight with your husband?
Right.
Literally.
Like, it takes so much energy to be mad at them.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much easier to, like, just drop it or just, like, oh, give him a pass or...
Right. Especially about something like this that's so stupid.
Yeah.
But I was just curious, like your feelings.
I'll
about it, but
remember
also-
these when I'm PMSing, though.
Yeah.
When I feel like I need to start a fight.
Yeah.
Maybe she's PMSing. She needs a
Probably.
mind haul or something.
Oh, yeah.
But
Do you guys have
high
friends
school-
that are like this?
High school Hannah definitely would have been like that.
Yes. See,
I
that's
would've
why.
been-
Yeah.
I would have been like, you don't think of me? Well, then who are you thinking of? You know,
I'm not the only lady on your mind.
literally.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I would have done that with my high school boyfriend.
And I would get mad thinking about all the girlfriends he had. And I'm like, how dare he?
This
I
also
didn't
sounds like
know
a
him.
fight that super drunk blackout Calissa would start as well.
Oh no.
Like, I feel like that would be,
Yeah, like,
Rough.
yeah, that's why I don't
No.
don't do that. I'm not.
You don't
super
drink?
fun. I drink.
Socially.
Yes, socially, and I'm trying very hard not to get blackout, but my tolerance is so low because I've decreased
Same.
my drinking so much that
Same.
like 4 White Claws in, and I'm 2 sheets to the wind.
one drink in.
Yeah. I get a little silly after one.
Yeah, and my anxiety is so bad the next day. Like my anxiety, I get hangover anxiety,
I've
and I
only
just
had a
think about
hangover,
like,
once.
oh man, it just triggers me for like the next 4 days or so. I'm just like super on edge.
Do you think it's the sugar? That's a lot of sugar to put in your body.
I drink usually like seltzers that don't have a lot of sugar? in 'em.
I don't know what that is, to be honest.
Yeah, like a White
White
Claw.
Claw.
Oh, what does that mean?
They're like low calorie, decreased sugar
Okay, cool.
beverages. But yeah, I've just been decreased. Like we don't keep alcohol in the house really at all anymore because I just don't like having it around and I don't like to I don't like regularly
That's
drinking.
why I don't like when Calvin buys cosmic brownies because then they're just around and I eat them.
Exactly the same.
Swiss rolls is
Yeah,
mine. And like
yummy.
I was like, okay, I gotta quit eating a whole box in one sitting. And I'm trying to like work out and feel good about myself. And then Nick comes home with a big family size Swiss rolls. And I'm like, why'd you buy this?
Why do you hate me?
Yeah.
Rude.
And he's like, oh, I just thought I was doing something nice. And I'm like,
To be fair, I do appreciate it. I love it. I am very thankful. But if I could,
but I'm trying to better
yeah,
myself.
if I had a better metabolism, I would say, baby, you.
And see,
you can
that's
get
where
it
I got
tonight,
the whole
but
breastfeeding thing. Like, oh, I just lose all this while breastfeeding. But
No.
it's going to catch up to me. And I got to stop.
Eventually, you won't be breastfeeding. Someday.
I hope. I'd like to get him off me, but at the same time, I don't know. It's a sweet
See.
feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, interesting turn of events.
Yeah, that was
Breastfeeding.
yeah.
Breastfeeding. That's okay. I can cut it
So-
and make it look good.
Well, okay. So let's turn breastfeeding. So breastfeeding changes your body.
A lot. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Everything
many other
goes
things too,
south.
but yeah.
How long did you breastfeed? Or did you breastfeed?
Yes. So Carver, 6 weeks, Gannon, 3 months, and Anders, a whole year.
Nice.
How did you stop after a year?
Oh man. They don't talk about how terrible that is.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Oh man. Okay. So I didn't have a period the whole time I was breastfeeding. And I feel like there's this purgatory of hormonal hell between the time that you stop breastfeeding until you get your first period. Because I think your period is a way of like regulating and getting back into some kind of sync and cycle. And until you get that, you're just like a constant worst PMS ever. I literally had COVID the week that I was that I was like waiting for this to happen. And I remember I took my kids to the park and I sat under a tree with Anders and I just cried because I just couldn't control. I was crying in a beautiful day for no reason at all, just because I was just so hormonal and like couldn't control myself. And like, I was just miserable to be around. I was like borderline suicidal because I was so freaking hormonal.
Wow.
Oh.
It was awful. But then I got my period, everything regulated, and I was fine. So beware of the weaning, the hormonal shift. It's like one of the biggest
did you
hormonal
just cut it
drop-offs.
off like
Yeah.
that? How did
Cold turkey.
Kind of like decreasing. I was down to like 2 feeds a day, and then I finally just dropped off. And then it was like,
So you were a daytime feeder. You weren't like an overnight.
right. Yeah.
I
So
went
like,
overnight?
Same. That's both of mine weaned overnight.
did you experience that?
Not that I remember. So when I weaned Gus, he nursed for almost a full 2 years. And I really only stopped with him because I was pregnant with Bronny. And I just like physically couldn't handle it, like being touched that way. So
You're pregnant and
yeah, that was rough. Like I had to cut that off. And I don't remember that he was like, he definitely struggled, but it wasn't terrible because he wasn't nursing a ton by that point, obviously, because I'd got my period. I got it back like 14 months, I think, with him when he started eating real food. So like it wasn't a ton. It was okay. Bronny, he hated nursing. He nursed for a year, hated nursing, wouldn't nurse most of the day at the end. He loved to eat. And then he was nursing like at night every once in a while. And the same time that I transitioned him to his own crib was the same time that I quit nursing at night. And so that was like double struggle. But I don't remember ever having really any like mood issues surrounding it.
I just saw an Instagram post the other day and someone else described it perfectly. And I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was the only one. See, there we go with that like awareness kind of stuff.
You know what's
again.
interesting though? I got my period back both times before I quit nursing though. So maybe that was part of it.
Oh man, I think that would have made a huge difference.
Yeah.
Because I immediately felt better once I started my period.
Yeah.
weird.
What about you?
Yeah.
I think I just got my period a couple months ago, and that was weird because I'm like, oh shoot, I forget I get these.
Yeah, it's like out of nowhere.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, seriously.
Literally.
Terrible.
So,
But you're still breastfeeding.
still, and yeah, I mean, he and in the daytime, it'll be like maybe 4 times, but like 5 minutes. And then he's over it. And that's where I'm
More
like,
like a comfort thing.
yes. And, well, it doesn't help when he cries. I'm like, come here. And I just whip it out.
Yeah.
That's how Gus was too, and I think that was a big part of like why he nursed so long. He really loved to nurse either way, but like it was a comfort thing.
Yeah. But
he
now
just
I'm
really
trying to
enjoyed
find,
it.
I'm trying to like, okay,
Happy
what's the
medium.
next soothing option instead of,
Hugs, kisses.
yeah, but he gets really like antsy when I don't give him what he wants. So that's where I'm like, no,
Yeah.
like you're just fine. And I'll offer a water bottle instead. And he, doesn't want that. So
Yeah.
Sucks.
yeah. If he took a pacifier, maybe that would help me, but he didn't want to do
Oh
anything
my
with
God.
that.
None of my kids would take a pacifier.
Really?
Yes. They were all weaned off a pacifier by 2 months and not by choice.
Wow.
Dang.
I just wish they would have
Yeah.
taken it because it's, I would have even tolerated like a 2-year-old still hanging onto his pacifier if
had
I
to
could have a
take Brownies
6 months
away
old
when
that
he
would
was
take
2.
one.
It's
My
hard.
Gussie was
to
6 months when he quit by himself. Spontaneous. So it was kind of annoying.
I bought a
at the time.
weaning kit for Cutter.
Oh, for his passy.
Yes, because I just noticed the
What's a
shift.
weaning kit?
It's by Mom Frida, and it's got like the normal size pacifier, and then you like switch it like every so often. It goes a little smaller
Just so
and
you know,
smaller. And
you can. I think you're not actually supposed to do this, but people like cut the little nipple. I don't think you're actually supposed to do that.
I don't
just
think so,
FYI,
because,
don't
like,
ever do
Hashtag
that,
not
but-
parenting advice.
Yeah, but I've seen that like in place of buying a
Exposed.
kit to do it.
plastics or whatever.
Yeah, or something
I
with,
don't
like
know.
they can inhale the
BPM.
piece or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
But I just bought the weaning kit, and that's how he quit. But I just wanted to do it because I could kind of see the shift in his teeth a little bit, where it's not rounding out to the pacifier, but it was getting close.
They were like flanged, kind of.
a little bit. And then I kept reading about wisdom teeth and how, like, as humans, our jaws have gotten smaller over time, and it's probably because of pacifiers or whatever.
Also, supposedly it's because of food choices, nutrition, where our food is less nutritious, and so our bones don't grow as well as they used to.
I think it was because of meat.
I was going to say, are we not using our chompers?
Yeah, could be.
No.
Again, nutrition though.
Literally.
It's like the same thing. Well, not, but yeah.
It's gotten soft foods.
Yeah.
Gotten a lot of soft foods
Yeah, sorry
over the
to
years.
go on that tangent again, but
We'll have to get a conspiracy theory
yeah,
with you. And
I'll just bring one up every time.
yes.
So, how did that affect your guys' like shopping?
Oh my gosh.
I hated shopping
At
when
first,
I was
I'm like, what are you
breastfeeding,
talking
but,
about?
like-
Then it's like, oh, yeah. Because while you're breastfeeding, don't you ever just like scroll your phone? And when the more you scroll your phone, the more you see ads, the more you see ads.
Oh, I was thinking
Is
like
that
the
what you
clothes
mean?
that I buy. Like I only bought
Oh.
certain types of clothes when I was breastfeeding.
And here I'm thinking of
because-
all the more time I spent on my
Oh, that
phone.
too.
And like, it's kind of like a
That too.
joke. I've heard of it before where like, oh, like my Amazon budget really fuels my breastfeeding. Like the money I've saved on formula, I've spent on Amazon. because I
Yeah,
just-
so girl math.
Yes.
Like, I'm saving money.
Seriously.
Yes,
Seriously.
I understand it. But I wore the ugliest breastfeeding shirts.
I remember your nursing shirts. Only because you had like I don't know how many you had. A handful of
fighting
them, I
words.
guess.
A
But-
lot.
Sure. But every time I would see you, you'd have the same like maybe 3 that were in
Stained.
rotation. So like I was like, oh, that's the same one I saw you in last time, and it was maybe like 2 weeks later. You know what I mean? Not that you're gross. That's what I'm saying.
No, they were
But just, like,
disgusting
I
shirts.
remember you having nursing shirts because you wore the same like handful of them all the time, which totally fair. I would too. Man.
Yes, and now I like the graphic shirts, and I'm like, no, I want to wear that. But I was wearing breastfeeding bras, and they had no padding, no support, on top of wearing that with my breastfeeding shirts. So
They
I'm
do make padded nursing bras.
yeah, but they flip
Oh,
weird
no,
all the
yeah,
time, and
that's
so I have
true.
to go in and fix it, and then he's tugging on me, and he's flipping it.
Didn't you ever leak though? I used to
Yes.
leak a lot.
Oh, yeah.
at the
Absolutely.
beginning.
What like when he was maybe newborn up to 8 months, I leaked bad.
So I have to work night shift. So I'm gone from 5:30 a.m. until 9 o'clock the next morning. So over that time, I would pump at work at about 10 and then at about 4 a.m. And I would always leak in between. It was just the worst. And I remember I went through a couple scrub tops because like the pad, like you can wear the nursing pads,
Yeah,
but
but
they
they fill
still
up.
slip and they still,
Yeah.
they can fill up. And oh man, I don't miss that at all.
Yeah, Gussie nursed so much when he was a baby that I would literally have to have like towels stuffed places and like to catch drips and things because my had a heavy letdown and I just had so much milk all the time.
Yeah, that's why his burp rags, I never really washed them. Oh, I wash them like maybe once a week, but
Yeah.
it smelled like milk.
Yes.
And it was nice because I would just put it under me and I would just kind of massage it down as I'm having my letdown. Those were the days.
Those were the days.
And Nick would just walk in the living room and see me
Just titties out.
nursing and then like leaky boob and
Wish we had $1 for every time we've touched our boobs during this podcast recording.
It's been mostly Hannah so far.
I was gonna say I know that
touching over there.
but you mentioned nursing bras. Those are the worst.
they really are.
There is no support. There's no solution. There's nothing sexy about breastfeeding.
And I had one when I think it was when I was pregnant with Gus because at that point I was like out in the world again, and it was I know, it was a wired one.
Oof.
And I got so many. Every time I wore it, I got a clogged duct every time. So like,
I let
it's either
those
you
babies
look like yeah, you either look like trashola, or you get a clogged duct.
Yeah.
So
Like my boobs are just going like this.
that's like the third time I said it too. Sorry. That was good.
Do we have a duck sound effect?
I don't think so.
Oh, Nick's got his little quack bang duck, but I don't think he wants to be referenced to
Probably not.
clogged duck.
Hilarious.
Oh, but bras are the worst.
They really
I have such a wide rib cage, and then just tiny titties. So
Me too.
yes,
I'm
girl.
I'm fat
I need
and
like
then I have small
a
boobs.
42A. That doesn't
you are?
exist. Probably a A and a half, but yes, I'm just like I mostly wear sports bras, like that, just like suction myself to myself.
Yeah.
What are you?
I don't really know my band size because I don't usually wear like real bras. I haven't bought a bra that's like anything but
I have
bralette in years.
I have
But
a measuring tape.
okay, we could do that later. I'm like in between a BC,
I
but I'm
was that-
fat, so like I'm bigger around. So there's never like a good
Right.
yeah.
No, and then you see all these like bras that like this is a life-changing bra.
Yeah, bullshit.
And then you get it, and it's like my life is not changed unless you can give me a 42 band
Yeah.
with tiny cup sizes.
And after kids, my boobs are so sad. They're like, if you put, I heard this analogy one time and it's perfect. If you threw like a sunny side egg up against a wall and just watched it like slowly, the yolk slowly slide down, that's what a post-nursing boob looks like.
You didn't go in the water with us on my pontoon.
No.
Our pontoon bachelorette, whatever. That's what we
Was
did.
that a bachelorette party? Were
Yeah,
you
but-
pregnant?
I was.
That wasn't a bachelorette party then. That was just, we just decided to do that, didn't
Yeah,
we?
it was, but it was like post or
Okay.
like
All right, sure.
a year of marriage, and we celebrated. And you didn't come out in the water with us because my friend, she whipped out her boobs in the water because she was like, "Do you want to see what a breastfeeding or what a mom of 4 boob
Shut
looks
up.
like?" Yes, and I told you to come out here.
so that you
in
can
the
see them.
water.
I
Yeah.
couldn't because listen, the water is so dirty. I literally can't. I like had a really hard time getting in just to pee in the water. I just
Okay,
couldn't
well,
do
we
it.
were touching boobies in the water.
Oh.
And she, I got to feel it because she's like,
It's so
feel
flat.
it. And it was just low.
Because listen, this is what
And
I don't
she
know
could
if
flip
maybe
it
science
in
person.
half.
That's disgusting. But she probably had big boobies to
She
begin
does.
with. I don't. I never did. But science person, I heard that because your milk ducts produce more and it needs more space, that basically your body clears out the fat that's in your boobs so that it can replace it with space for milk. So that's why afterwards you just are like, there's not
Saggy.
there's no fat there to like.
Yeah, I was always so frustrated because in high school, I would grow my hair down below my nipples. And I was thinking the other day, I've never been able to grow my hair down below my nipples. And I think it's because the goalpost keeps going lower. And that's why it's not the hair problem, it's the nipple
titties. Oh, dang it. Shoot.
That is hilarious.
Shoot.
Yeah.
I know. I could really have my nipples touch my knees if I really wanted.
I couldn't go that far, but they're definitely not where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, that's such a 30-year-old thing.
Yeah, it's something.
If you have kids
saggy
and
titties.
you're 30,
Yeah.
And I would like to have a boob job.
You would.
A boob job or a lift
I'd like to get them smaller,
reduction.
a reduction, and maybe a lift. And I
'cause
kind
I
of
feel like
suck
you
some
have-
of the armpit fat out.
Do you know, I never considered that. I always just assumed a boob job was a boob job, but I think a lift
Implants are
actually
different
would
than a
be-
lift. And you know what you could do? You could get a fat transplant instead. So you could get fat taken from other places and injected into your boobies. That's what I would do for sure.
Yeah, I'm for sure getting a tummy tuck. Like, that's inevitable. Probably for my 30th birthday.
Really?
Yep.
That makes me so scared.
Closing up shop.
Oh, Lord.
And start opening a new one.
Oh, my. Oh,
Hot
my.
mom. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I love that for you.
Yeah. I just need to.
That's what I want.
I'm gonna
I
go
wish
to
I could be a
Miami
hot
and
mom.
Yeah. Go to Miami.
Or Mexico.
Yeah.
It's cheaper in Mexico.
Colombia is really well known for. I was chatting with one of our ER doctors the other night, and he said
BBL?
Colombia is known for like their travel packages in and out, and they like you just tell them, "Hey, I want this," and they tell you what plane to get on and where to go. And
Nick would never.
He would probably go with you. Although he'd never let you get a reduction. Your boobs are huge now. Like, I'm visually impressed every time I see your boobs.
I think
Just so you know.
they used to be a 36 double D. And now I think it's a 38D. If I did my measurements right.
What'd you say the first time?
36 double D.
So they got smaller?
I never understood the
Double
double.
D, I think, is bigger than D.
Huh?
Double D, I think, is bigger than D.
Yes.
So your boobs got smaller?
I think so.
Huh.
I did the measurements and
Interesting.
that's what they said.
Weird.
And it fits. But I would like them to be covered more instead of just having like exposed boobs out.
Oh, see, maybe, I don't know. You have to buy your bra based on your boob shape. So because mine are not top heavy, meaning I don't have fat on my upper chest, it's at the bottom. I need a balconette bra, which means that all my padding is underneath. So it, instead of it,
Screw algebra.
visually
This
for
is the information that we
there's-
really need.
if I run across this boob lady on TikTok again, I'll send her to you.
Yeah.
But anyways, instead of my boobs being like this, it cups them and it goes shoop, and it makes the top of your boob look fuller because the padding at the bottom pushes the fat up like that. Does
I
that
don't
make
need
sense?
any fullness. I just need them to be flat.
Right, so you would probably want either a compression or you'd want like a full coverage.
full coverage.
Yeah. So you just have to look for full coverage.
Okay.
And you'd want something with good straps for support because they're heavy. And a wide band. We talk about your things that you don't like, those little...
Okay, we
Jib
found
jabs.
another new job for Sarah.
There you go.
You should be a bra fitter.
Yeah.
When they say that people with ADHD really like micro get into these topics and like
When you
learn
know
all
what
the
you
things.
want.
When I do the research, I can know all the stuff. Okay.
So after your sex ed class,
Yep.
you're going to round everyone up, tell them a bunch of
Fit 'em for
conspiracy
bras.
theories,
Get them for bras.
and then you're going to fit them for bras.
There you go.
Dude, I would love a professional bra
Should work
fitting.
at
That would be
Victoria's.
like,
That's why I miss Victoria's Secret in this town because they would just do it for me.
Sometimes those bitches didn't know what they was doing.
Yeah, well, I had really good luck.
You can just Google it. You can Google it, girl, and get yourself a tape measure.
I have a tape measure.
All right. Well, you can figure it out then. I'll do it for you. I'll help you.
did
You
it.
just
or just go get new ones,
Knew what?
new boobs.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then
that's
you,
true.
Yeah.
they can probably tell you what bra size to wear.
And if they
Based on
say
your
anything like,
CCs.
you really don't need this, you're a beautiful girl inside and out, I'm going to be like, shut up and do it.
Oh my gosh. If I went to a plastic surgeon and they said that, I would like find a different plastic surgeon. Like,
Literally. I
I'm
mean,
not
They're
here.
putting themselves out of a job.
I
so
already
that's pretty
know
stupid.
what I hate and what I love about myself. So this is what I've decided I hate, and you're going to fix it.
would
I don't
never
need to
have the
hear anything
balls
else.
to get plastic surgery, but
Are you would you be nervous about like the
I'd be so
complications?
stressed. Yes. Oh my gosh. I would
I
immediately
would
die.
hate the recovery.
I would pass away.
I would have to wait for my kids to be just a little bit older so they wouldn't have to like rely on me all the time.
Yeah. Did you have a C-section at all?
Yeah.
So you know what it feels like to feel like your innards are coming out of your body from your front.
Yeah, and I would do it again if it meant that I didn't have this belly.
Oh my gosh.
Always hated my stomach.
Me too.
Always.
I mean,
No, me too.
Even before I had kids.
Yes,
yeah,
me
even
too.
when I had like a flat stomach, I was like, damn.
Like I remember reading Shakira because she said that she was a little chubby as a teenager and then she got fit by belly dancing, but she said that she still has like a little bit of and she's like, yeah, I can't get rid. I think it's a hereditary thing for me.
It is. That's what I've heard.
Yes.
And also, we have organs there that are, need
Well, I
protection.
think it was like for pregnancies because
Yeah,
I do see
that's
some.
what I'm saying.
Because I do see some women's bellies, they get kind of not to shame them, but like they don't. It like lost all elasticity down there.
Yeah. And it's worse with a C-section. You get a little shelf.
You get what's called a.
I guess I
It literally goes to like
shelf.
this, and it goes under, and then it's
what's that
back
called?
What do I do? Google belly
Basket
shelf.
belly? No, what's that called?
C-section shelf.
C-section.
I forget.
But like you could, I
Apron
could
belly.
look.
It's called an apron belly. Is what it's called. It's
sorry
very
if
it's
my
super
reaction is
common with
terrible.
C-section stuff. Because I've showed it to you before. I've showed you mine before.
I mean, that's
I've showed you mine before, Hannah.
No, you did not.
Yes, after I had Gus and we went shopping and we were. This is before you had kids, and we were talking about it, and I was like, "Yeah, I can't wear that thing
probably
because
didn't register in my head
okay.
because I didn't have kids.
Well, I saw your judging eyes, so I know that you were judging me.
there, and then it kind of like hangs. These are all. This is
See, this is mine,
Yeah.
but I no
But you
C-section.
didn't have a
right?
C-section.
No, but like
I mean, that
this-
can just be because you had your skin stretched, so now you have extra skin.
I don't know how much of it is C-section now versus how much of it is
I think
just
it can be
having a
both,
baby.
but it's most common with C-sections. Like it's like a huge percentage of people have it after a C-section.
Well, and something that I really didn't understand before having kids is that your body is still different after each kid. Oh,
yeah.
It's not like, oh, this is my postpartum body. It's like, this is my postpartum body after this child.
Yep.
But like my belly has changed every time.
I have really bad diastasis recti now after having 2 huge kids. And
You did
we
have
talk
some big
about
babies.
this. And it's just like,
How
I
big were your
think
kids?
9'7" and 9'8".
Oh, God
Gus
bless.
was 21 and a half inches, I think, and Bronson was 22 inches. So they were big. Mm-hmm. And like I'm fat, but I'm not like a huge, like I'm not a big person. So there's not like a lot of room. So that's just like so much strain on my muscles and stuff.
Sometimes you can get a tummy tuck covered because you have the diastasis recti
Yeah,
and things like
and
that. As long as you can prove that it's like causing a problem.
Well,
The problem is
it
my
causes
mental
me
health.
back problems.
Does it?
Yes.
From
because,
carrying this family.
No, like even when I'm giving my kids a shower or something and I'm like trying to just lean a little bit forward and like I can't have the ab strength to like hold myself like that without using my back muscles and I'm in so much pain. Like I had a personal trainer when Adam was at the gym, when I first started going to the gym, and you don't know who that is. Okay. Anyways, he was
Adam.
there and yeah, hey Adam, if you ever listen to this, I really thought you were awesome and I wish you wouldn't have moved. Anyways, I was talking to him about it and he was making me do like a that ball thing carry, like a cross, and I literally was like almost crying by the end of it because I was like, my back hurts so bad. Like I can't keep doing this. I'm sorry. I can't.
I had a personal trainer who had me do an ab workout, and she's like, "Oh, you do this," and Misty, hey, you're the greatest. And it was like this thing where you lean and you just like move your hip. I'm like, I physically cannot do this. The muscles are not there. It's not a matter of lack of willpower. It's not a matter of I'm being a wimp. It's not a matter I want to get out of this. I want to do this move, and I physically cannot do it because I do not have the muscles.
There's like
there.
the brain muscle connection doesn't exist anymore. So
I remember the first time I got out of bed after my C-section. It's like my legs did not. It was like literally cut. Like
it's two separate halves of your body.
Yes, that was the strangest sensation in the world. Yeah, I couldn't walk upstairs for like a week.
Yeah.
And then other people who have C-sections and they just like pop right out of bed, and I'm like, I was literally wrecked.
One of my sister-in-laws
so many days.
has 5 kids, all of them C-sections, and she like it's just, and she's in Pilates like the next day basically, and she's fine, and I'm like, bitch. bitch, what?
And then it's like, do I really have that low of a pain tolerance? And then
I don't think
like,
it's that.
I don't think so. I don't know. I think some surgeries are rougher on some people. I had a ton of bruising because I was supposed to stop a baby aspirin before I did it. So I was on a baby aspirin for preeclampsia prevention. And then I was supposed to stop it 2 weeks before my C-section while I went into labor on my own.
Shoot.
So that made my blood thin, which meant I bruised a lot easier. And so I just had a lot of bruising. It was awful.
I hate bruising. I always bruise when I have to get
Blood draws. Yeah. Same. Yeah. Pregnancy is wild.
I am glad. Yeah, I could not do a C-section. You'd have to physically knock me out because I think I'm claustrophobic.
I mean, if it was emergency, you would. Yeah, did you have to get butterflied or what is this called?
Filleted.
T-pose or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was scary.
No, that freaks me out. Like, just even thinking about that, like,
What did yours feel like?
just knock me out.
My C-section?
Yeah.
It was okay. It was planned because Gannon was going to be such a big baby, and I had a shoulder dystocia with my first.
Oh, shoot.
So
had a what?
A shoulder dystocia. He got stuck. His shoulders didn't make it through, and it was mild. He didn't like. Sometimes they have to break the collarbone, but he didn't. Thank God. But they said Gannon was supposed to be like 11 plus pounds. They told me, and every visit I was measuring 44 weeks pregnant when I was like 32 weeks pregnant. I was just giant, and they said we cannot recommend that you have a vaginal delivery with this big of a baby. And he turned out to be about 5 ounces more than Carver was. Probably could have made it.
What's what?
8.14. So
That's still pretty, I mean, that's bigger than average for sure.
yeah.
I think average is like 7.5 or something.
Yeah. So my water broke the morning of a blizzard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And we went to the hospital and we just had this planned C-section. And she went to like cut me. And I was like, I feel that. Hello.
Oh, God.
I was like,
absolutely
so
not.
then she's like doing the test on my belly, like, oh, is this sharp? Is this sharp? I'm like, yes, 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 yes. It's all
They
sharp.
just didn't wait long enough.
Yes. And then the anesthesiologist, I will never forget this. The CRNA is like, should I just knock her out? I'm like, no, hold on.
Could have been better.
There
Yeah,
are
that's what I
other solutions here. Like, I want to be awake for the birth of my baby. Hannah's like, hell no.
No.
I want to be awake for the birth of my baby. Like, just give me a minute. Like, tilt the table, get the epidural where it needs to go. But, like, to just be like, should I just knock her out? No, do your job better, please.
I love that you advocated for yourself, though. That's huge.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love that. That's
Yes,
awesome.
You and my sister-in-law, they were pretty outspoken. Me, I'd be like, okay.
And granted,
do that.
with the caveat, it was not an emergency. Everything was A-okay.
Yeah.
It was a planned C-section, which is all the more reason to wait and let me get freaking numb.
Yeah. I was only planned with Gus because he was breech. And I was I wish that I would have stood up for myself more and not had that situation because Bronson was also breech, but I went and had him turned and I had a VBAC.
How'd they turn?
They literally hold you at the top and they hold you at the bottom and they dig in and they go zoop.
Did it hurt?
And yeah, it was pretty painful, but it was worth it because I really wanted to have a vaginal birth. And I did.
So I like that you guys are saying vaginal instead of natural because I always kind of roll my eyes when
Well, you
people
can
are like,
have an epidural with a natural birth,
no, like,
vaginal birth.
oh, I want it natural. When they say natural, they mean vaginal.
Right.
And I'm like, all births.
Semantics.
Yeah. I'm like, so do you ever hear anything like
Yeah,
about
that is kind
women
of exclusive, I
who
guess.
say like C-section? I've
Exclusionary,
never
if
heard
you-
anyone say C-section isn't a real birth. Do you ever hear that? Does that anyone ever told you
I
that?
haven't, but
I
I've
had a
heard other
nursing
people say that.
instructor who would not allow us to say C-section in her class. We had to say cesarean section or cesarean birth
Why?
because you section an orange, not a human.
I mean, they literally
Okay.
cut me open. So
interesting.
They cut
And
through all my
it was kind of
layers.
along the same lines of like cesarean birth is still a birth. It's not just so I know what you meant, but that's like was her thinking.
It's like
I feel like that's like
when
really
beauty
not that
school
serious,
would be
but-
like, you don't paint your nails, you polish your nails.
I feel like, okay, getting on word choice here, I feel like the more that we focus on that kind of stuff, the more like ridiculous it becomes. Like,
Yes,
why
but
it can be called a C-section and still be a birth. It can be called a natural birth and it can still be a whatever. It can be called a vaginal birth. Whatever.
I don't think anyone is out here trying to offend people.
Some people are.
but
I'm not saying like us. I mean general.
Yeah.
But I
general
never
you,
like
not you.
hear any,
Yeah.
like I always like hear people
Yeah.
talking like, oh, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I've never heard anyone say anything bad about cesareans or
Same. Although I've heard from other people that they have had someone say it to them,
jeez.
but I've never had that experience.
Yeah,
So
I have not either. And honestly, I wouldn't give a fuck if they did
right,
because like
I'm the one. I had a baby out,
Right.
so clearly it came from somewhere.
yes, I get to define what happened to me
Yeah.
and what I call it. And I had a C-section.
I had both.
I was sectioned like an orange.
Did you get the T cut,
Interesting.
or were you just a one line?
One line.
Same.
Yeah.
I figured because usually the T cut's like a specific kind
Yes.
of emergency or something. But
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's like
It's freaking scary, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of freaking me out, but like you guys are badasses for doing it.
I mean, so are
and-
you. You push babies out your hoo-ha. It's just as bad. My vaginal birth was just as terrible, like feeling wise afterwards, as my
Cause that's
C-section.
Andrews
a whole
walked
new.
out.
I'm so jealous.
I had my VBAC was the most magical, lovely experience I've ever had in my whole life. Literally, they went to check. They're like, "Oh, we can't find the baby's heartbeat. I'm sure it's fine." It was after I'd been in labor for a while. I fell asleep. They came in to wake me up, and they're like, "Oh, you just must have slipped off the monitor. Let's move you around." And she's like, "Either that, or you just moved down pretty low." And she checked me, and she's like, "Don't move.
Oh,
don't cough. Don't sneeze. Nothing." And she pushes the button on the
You
wall.
were crowning and you didn't even know it? What's wrong with you?
An epidural.
Oh.
So fabulous. And so
Gotcha.
they got everybody in there, and 5 minutes later, they're like, "Okay, push." And I'm like this? And they're like, "Okay, grab him." And I birthed him like Courtney Kardashian.
Oh, I
Like,
love
grabbed
it.
him and
You
That's
grabbed
cute.
him?
lift him up. Yeah.
That's sweet.
So
I
wonderful.
wanted
It was,
that.
and then we called him Simba for a little bit
Oh,
because like,
cute.
oh, Simba.
That's cute.
Yeah.
You weren't scared to drop him?
They are kind of slimy.
They are slimy. I'll never forget that first little. Oh, it was so wonderful.
I had
Sweet
skin to skin with
skin.
Bronny, like right immediately.
No.
He made so much yucky poop on me. It was so icky. It was so icky. I forget what it's. I forget what it's
Meconium.
called. Yes. Ugh. It was nasty.
Did you do skin to skin right away?
Not right away. I'm like, can you wipe him?
I was like specifically, don't wipe him. Just give him to me. I was like, I want to rub that white stuff in. I
Vernix,
forget what it's
yeah.
called. I want to rub it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good for their skin.
It
Rub
is.
it in.
So is eating the placenta.
Leave it in all their
supposedly.
Actually, you know what? I've heard the opposite as well.
What?
I've heard there's no scientific studies to
Yep.
prove.
There are some
any.
people who say that it really helps stabilize their mood afterwards, and there are others who say basically the opposite, that it can really, because you're going from pregnancy hormones, to now you are not pregnant.
So
your
it's
baby's
like
on
you're getting the
outside, you're-
pregnancy.
yes. So it's like confusing for your body.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what. I didn't do either of those things. So
Yeah, and like I was on the TikTok of they're like, you should ask for that back because it's your organ.
sure, but you have to tell them ahead of
I
time.
took a picture of mine.
You have to tell them ahead of time. That's gross. Did you get
That
the
is
art?
gross.
Did you do the stamp?
No, I just
that'd be
wanted to. I don't know.
But it's kind of weird.
I made it. Look at what I made.
Yeah, it's kind of nasty.
But like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, what do you do with my organ? Like,
I've heard
Biohazard.
yeah, I've heard some people just throw it away. But there's like stem cells and stuff in the cord and stuff. So I've heard, you know,
People
maybe
store
they
the cord
harvest.
blood. I've heard of that before.
Yeah.
what are they doing?
I don't know.
Government
stuff.
conspiracy.
Haven't you read My Sister's Keeper?
No.
I haven't.
Is
Is that the one where she has cancer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Cameron Diaz. I saw the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. And the baby,
Jeez Louise.
the baby was like they genetically made the sister to be a bone marrow match for her, so that she could keep her older sister alive and use the stem cells.
Oh, that is damn sad.
I think it was on The Good Doctor or Grey's Anatomy, but the older sister was having medical problems, so they had the younger sister to
Yes,
give
I've heard
her.
of that. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah,
That the parents just had you just for.
And like
keep the
imagine the
other
trauma that would
yeah.
put
And
on your psyche.
yeah, you should actually read My Sister's Keeper. It's a very good book.
I probably maybe will. If it's not romance, I have a hard time.
Oh,
It doesn't
it's not
like
romance.
I can't like hold my attention.
Oh,
for
then
that
I
long.
won't ruin the ending. The ending is like
No, I
wow.
love the ending of things ruined. I love it. I usually don't watch a show unless I know the ending. Or like sometimes I'll flip ahead in a book and
Oh my gosh,
read the ending.
What is
That's
wrong
that's
with
gotta
it's
be
really
you?
stressful.
something.
It's really stressful to like not know the ending of things.
It is. I would agree with that.
I don't like
I
it.
like to be shocked.
I don't.
Jaws
I really
on the
don't like it.
floor.
I feel like I'm in a perpetual state all the time of like shock and overwhelm. So I really don't like it when it's
Okay.
like something I can prevent.
Yeah.
I know, that's kind of sad. Sorry. We totally got way off topic of
What is our topic?
Well, we were going to talk about our relationship to our bodies, and I guess we kind of did.
Kind of. We all want some kind of surgery.
Well, now that we're all like pretty far postpartum and we've returned ourselves to the regular world of periods, how has that been going? How are your periods?
Weird.
Normal?
Heavy.
Weird? Yours are weird still?
It's not my fault I have a wide set vagina.
That was a good one.
But what if we do now? Okay, that's a very 30-year-old
It's
thing.
definitely possible. It's definitely
Heavy
possible.
flow.
Oh,
Yeah.
very.
Awful.
Mine was
Yeah.
super heavy.
Mine's heavy too.
Like
Well,
the
I guess
whole
I don't know.
tampon.
The ultra of the ultraest.
I only use a cup now, so I don't actually know in terms
Oh.
of tampons.
Okay, I've tried.
You
No
don't like
bueno.
it? Why?
No
what do
bueno.
you not like?
So much. The mess. The
What do you mean the mess?
suction.
What kind of mess? How much mess are you how much mess are you making?
You're doing
Because
it.
I think if you need to just
Have
practice.
you used a cup?
No.
I think you need to practice if you're making a huge mess.
I would like to see a video tutorial.
There are, and even those didn't help. I gave it a good old college try, and
Which
it
is
was
how many
just
periods? How many periods did you try it?
3.
I feel like you need more.
And I
than that.
leaked
I
every
would say
time.
you give it a good 6 months. That's well, you didn't get a good suction in there then.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to try it again.
I would send you
Because does it leak? Tell me your experience.
Okay, first of all, I would send you the test to know which menstrual cup is best for your vagine. Okay, so I'll find that. I have it bookmarked. I will send it to you. I'm telling you, I go down a rabbit
You're very
hole
good
and
with
I'm down the
bodies.
rabbit hole, man.
Back to
Ross,
sex
I'm
education.
down in there.
Cups?
Yep. I know it all. I've done it all. I've seen it all.
Okay, you can find the thong that'll fit me then.
Thong? Why are you having a problem with thongs?
I don't like it.
Then just don't wear it. Wear granny
I
panties.
want to wear thongs.
You see how I just said panties?
Oh my gosh, I'm so proud
Moving up
of
in the world.
you.
Woo, woo, woo.
Okay.
What did you want to know? Sorry.
Tell me everything.
Okay. Well, first of all, when I first got my first period postpartum with Gus, I used a sponge, a sea sponge. I know that sounds weird.
Stuck it up there?
Yeah, because it's absorbent. It's a sponge, and it's a sea sponge, so it's natural. It's it's whatever. That only lasted maybe like 2 periods because then it got heavy. So after that, I was like, okay, I need to branch out. And so then I looked up a cup, and I was like, ooh, this sounds great. Only changing it, like dumping it like once a day, maybe twice a day, depending on whatever.
That's crazy.
Like every 12 hours. And I was like, dang, this sounds magical. So the first cup that I had wasn't like great. So I found the test, and I took the test, and I found a different cup. It's the Salt cup, SAALT, Salt. And that's the cup I've been using ever since, basically.
And you reuse the same one?
Yeah. I think you're supposed to, this is gross, I'm sorry. I think you're supposed to replace it like after, I think they say 2 to 5 years or something like that. So I probably should, but it's just like not at the forefront of my mind, and I just haven't done it.
So does it leak?
Sometimes at the beginning it did. Yeah. And that's basically like
User error.
If you don't get a good suction, if you don't have it up high enough to get a good suction, it's gonna
Like a suction, it's supposed to like...
So there are 2 that I know of, 2 different ways to like fold it, to insert it. You can do the U fold, which is basically you just poke it and fold it in half. Or you can do, I forget what it's called, but you kind of like, if this is the top, you push it like this and tuck it. So it's kind of like an elongated U.
Yeah.
And that's called something else, I forget. But basically, then when you push it up there, then
Opens,
it
right?
will go and it'll suction itself to the inside of your coochie walls.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when you pull it out, does it hurt?
It should be under your cervix.
So, but when you pull it out, does it like...
I mean, if you don't break the suction before you pull it out, yeah. Because
So you have to
it's
stick
literally
your...
just like
you have to
pulling on
stick
your
your
vag walls
finger and kind of like...
and break the seal and then pull it out.
Oh, okay.
And then if it's really full, you could like dump it on yourself or whatever. But I just go boop right in the toilet. And then our sink is right next to our toilet, so I just rinse it out and then fold it, put it back in.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I have usually one heavy day. This is really in depth. Sorry.
It is. We can cut this if we need to.
I have like one heavy day usually where
Put
I
a
have
trigger
to change
warning.
it like midday. I have to dump it midday. So I'm like, maybe 6 a.m. to noon, and then noon to like before I go to bed. And I've heard mixed things about wearing it at night, but I usually do because I don't like pads and stuff. So then I usually just wear it overnight, and then in the morning, whatever, and I go about my day. And on other days when it's not my heaviest day, I usually just leave it in from like morning until bedtime.
Wow. That would be a great attraction to it. That would be lovely.
Because when you're out places, like, what? I don't want to be changing things, and like, I don't want to be carrying things with me.
But see, that's my issue is like if I have to at work, like if I have to troubleshoot, I don't want to be doing that at work in the employee restroom.
The hope is that you'd get good enough at it that you wouldn't have to, like, you would know if it's misplaced and you'd be able to fix it immediately.
Yeah.
So.
And then in which case it's only going to leak unless you make it leak. Which
It won't leak unless,
Yeah.
Dang.
Dang.
I mean, I'm sure there are like some weird things. Everybody's different, so you never know. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I would give it like, 4 to 5 stars.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah.
Speaking of periods, the amount of concealer I have below my nose right here is insane. Do you guys get really bad acne?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at my chin.
And see, I don't see that.
This is not like super bad. This isn't a breakout right now. This is just like leftover from last time. But
Yeah.
like the redness.
You get like little blackheads. I think they're blackheads.
Do you?
Yeah.
In your nose?
Oh, everywhere. But yeah, and I think what it is when my son is nursing, because he's touching everything.
Oh, ew.
And so he's always touching
Bacteria.
my face. So I'm like, that's why I have chin acne. It's because his little dirty hands are touching my face.
Someone said that this is hormonal. Like under
could
your
be.
chin is mostly hormonal, and then I don't
There's
know
a whole
what
face
kind.
chart
Yeah.
for which area of the body.
And then
your
I'm like,
acne
is that
coming
100% true?
from. Probably not, no, but
Just like the whole massage, like on your foot.
reflexology.
Yeah. Like this is supposed to, if you press right here, it's supposed to help your liver or something. I'm like,
Yeah, the
really?
spot for headaches or whatever it is.
Yes.
Yeah, we use that one.
I heard this one was to put you into labor.
Oh, that's a feet one, I think.
Well, this girl was doing it in her hand.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right.
Don't know if it
Did you
worked.
guys do any of those things to get into labor?
Nope. My first one, it was kind of planned. I was going to come in that day, and I was contracting a little bit. So I'm like, okay,
Oh, did you get induced?
kind of.
What does that mean?
Um,
Off topic. Oops, sorry.
They put a balloon on me just to kind of open up the cervix a little more.
Gross.
Yeah, and that was it. No Pitocin or anything.
Was that painful for you?
No. The nurses checking me was the worst thing ever.
Yes.
But
I
my
bled after
doctor was like, I've got long fingers. And I'm like, okay. But I didn't squirm. Like my nurse who's got small little fingers like me, she was like catfishing up there. Ew. I'm screaming. I'm in pain. I'm like, oh my God, get out.
Yeah, that's
And
terrible.
then they kept asking, are you sure you don't want the epidural? And I'm like, fine, I'll take it. Because I'm like, if I can't handle a nurse's fingers, I definitely couldn't handle a baby. Who knows? But my mentality was somewhere else.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be out of pain.
Yeah.
Or my second one, you know what you're going into a little bit more. You're a little bit more confident. So I was a little bit more stern with the nurses. I'm like, I really don't want to do epidural. Trying to help me do this as quick and painless as I can. And they're like, yeah, we can do all these techniques. So I did the little balls. I did the peanut. I did the rag or like the towel butt shake shimmy thing.
And natural? Not natural.
No epidural.
No epidural. There we go.
Yep. And, I didn't feel him coming. I just was like, I have to pee really bad. And they put a vaginal insert of me so they could hear his heart rate monitor so I could be able to move around. But like I still had to be stuck to an IV. So I'm like, this really isn't as convenient. And then I told Nick, I'm like, do you see those towels over there? Bring them over here so I can pee on them.
Yuck.
And he's like, you want to pee over towels? And I'm like, I'm not going on the toilet with this IV and a thing. I've done that like 4 times already. I'm not doing it again. Just let me squat. And so I'm like,
Sorry, I'm trying to
wide-legged and squatting, and I'm like, hope, I feel ahead. And all of a sudden, like 12 nurses start running in. And that's how
And they're like, what were you doing over towels?
just pushed us to the side. Yeah. But,
Oh my gosh.
but he came out. He slipped out, slip
Yeah.
and slide.
Yeah. Did he fall?
No,
Oh, did he fall on the towels?
that'd be hilarious. No, they got me on the bed,
Yeah.
but my pubic bone hurt so bad. And they were like, lift your knees to your chest. And I'm like, no, I physically cannot.
Yeah.
I couldn't even put my underwear on in the morning. So bringing my knees to my chest, not a thing. That's not happening.
Yeah.
So they had to do that for me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he just slipped and slide.
Wow.
There you go.
It was nice.
Yeah.
That was my second birth. It was awesome, and I don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
Really? Oh man. I feel
That's
like
an
all my
interesting
births were terrible.
topic. Do you think you're done having kids? Do you think
Yes.
so? Yeah.
And
think
if
I'm
I just can't do it again.
Yeah.
I hated my heartburn. I hated my pubic bone because someone told me it was a hormone thing.
Yep.
I'm like, I suppose.
Relax and makes your cartilage. Symphysis pubis dysfunction is actually what it's called when your ligaments are super loose between your pelvis and your pubic bones are held together by a cartilage and it makes it really slippery. So they just kind of
Like literally, I was like a week pregnant and like it hurt. And I'm like, I'm not even heavy.
Yep. It's all the relaxin. Yep. I was the same way. I went to the chiropractor like every 2 weeks.
So what
That's
did
how I
they do
was
for
pregnant.
you? Did
Just
they?
readjusted me and
Like on your
patted me on the
back?
head. And no, they took like this shocker and it was like a adjuster and they put it right on my pubic bone and would adjust me back
He
in.
would not do that. And I was like, my pain is literally, if I could take his hand, it's
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, flip on your back and I'll crack you. And I'm like, no, whatever. You're not
not it.
listening to me. So
That's not it. Yep.
yeah.
I feel like that's probably just like a uncomfortable thing for him.
I don't care.
I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. I'm
No,
just
I
saying like
know.
he was probably just uncomfortable.
Well,
Did you
then I
have that pain?
Mine was all back pain. All back pain.
And you're still having back pain.
Yep.
Same kind of back pain?
Yep. 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 It's only gotten worse.
Do you have a firm bed?
Sure. I don't know. It's kind of like memory foamy. It's not super squishy. I don't know. I like it.
I'd like a firm bed.
Yeah. Back on the acne, I was on Accutane in high school.
No way.
Yeah. You guys heard of that?
Yes. I had
Pretty
My
nasty.
boyfriend at the time had that. And
Yeah.
He was so dry and crusty.
Yep. Accutane is like
Is that what the ones celebrities do a lot?
No, this is pretty nasty.
The Jenner girl did.
Did she?
Was
Yes,
it
the one who
Accutane?
did the proactive commercials.
That's proactive.
Yeah, not that. That's not that.
Okay,
Oh
so
God,
what's
I remember Proactive. Which celebrity wasn't on a Proactive commercial?
Everybody. Or the Neutrogena face wash and stuff.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
believe them.
Jennifer Garner.
You have it right. You have it down.
Yes, but that's exactly what she did too.
And they would just splash water
Yes,
in their
the splash.
face.
Hayden Panettiere. Remember she was
Yes.
the Neutrogena girl?
I
Yes.
saw an old music video and I'm like, I used to jam to that.
Yes.
Embarrassing.
Rockin'.
Yeah.
JoJo.
Well, because she was on a Kohl's, because when Kohl's used to have celebrity like do their
Sure.
their clothes clothing collection, she was on there.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, Accutane was horrible. I literally like
Did it dry you out?
Yes.
Yes.
And you pretty much shed your entire skin and,
And your
grow a new skin.
yeah, like your
all, but it's not
lips,
just your face.
Your hair
It
is
is your
dry,
lips. It is
everything.
your hair. It is your eyes are dry. It's like a giant dose of vitamin A.
Good.
All
Which is crazy
over.
because it like that kills you if it's like too much. So that's really crazy.
But it's like pretty much it's oh God, I'm gonna so biff what the name is. Can you Google it? The name, the brand name of tretinoin.
is retinol. It's a
Yes, it's literally retinol, like you're like
All over.
putting in your body.
What am I looking?
No, I think that's it. Tretinoin.
Retinoin.
Yes.
Yeah. With retinol, they're like just a little dab.
Yeah, this is like ingesting.
No.
And it's I forget is it you work up to it and then come down again or
Yes.
I forget.
And you had to have a pregnancy test every single month before they would prescribe you the medication. And you
Wow.
could not only you had to have 2 forms of birth control. So you could have abstinence and you could have birth control pills.
Wow.
or you could have abstinence and condoms, or you could have.
How do you have abstinence and condoms?
You had to list, and you
Birth
had a
control and
survey
condoms.
every time that you went in.
Wow.
You had to prove that you had 2 forms of birth control, and you had to have a negative pregnancy test before they would give it to you because it causes such terrible fetal abnormalities.
So did you have?
Accutane?
Yeah, I
It
imagine.
doesn't say that here. It just says like back pain and aches.
Well, that's only
Black
for
box warning.
you probably. That's not for like a pregnancy. Side effects for a pregnancy. But I was gonna ask, was yours like cystic acne? Was it hormonal?
Oh God,
like,
it was
stuff,
everywhere. It was deep. It was painful. I don't know that, but I've seen cystic acne before, and it wasn't that. But it was very much on my forehead, and then it was just everywhere.
Wow. I can't even imagine you with acne.
no, I really can't.
I can look.
I mean, I don't really
everyone
see
have,
acne
like,
on you.
That's because I have a ton of
skin.
concealer on right now. But
Yeah, my skin.
but yeah, it's been a journey, and I just remember like getting more attention from guys after my acne cleared,
Oh, yeah.
and it always was just kind of like,
I feel like that's, I don't want to say normal, but normal.
yeah.
Oh wow, she really was hot.
Yeah, it's like when they take the glasses off.
Oh my gosh, I kind of have a story about this. Actually, it's funny because I wish that you guys knew me in high school so that you could know what I was talking about. But like, I basically dressed like this in high school. Okay, like very just
so cool.
ugly.
No.
And I wasn't fat, but at the time I thought I was fat. But then this boyfriend and I broke up, and like right after that, I dyed my hair, got a tattoo, and I had been like ill, like actually ill, and that started a big opposite eating disorder for me actually, where I lost like a ton of weight and I was super super skinny, and then it was like left and right people were trying to like get with this, and I was like, bitches, are you telling me I was ugly before? Like, what's going on here?
Well, I think it's because I see the confidence.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah,
You're like confident with yourself, and it's hot.
Yeah.
It really is.
that could be.
What I have trouble with is when I'm at a smaller weight, people are much more comfortable making fat phobic comments.
I get that, but with racism, like everyone treats me like I'm white and not really a minority, which I totally see it. But I would have clients in my chair, and they would make a super racist joke, or not a joke, just a statement, and I'm just like,
Person of color right here.
yeah, like,
How does that happen?
literally.
Are people like unaware of? Well, I guess sometimes I am socially unaware of things, but I feel like racism is like pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Generally.
Well, I didn't think it happened until I actually hear it with my own ears and see it, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
But they just like treat me like I wouldn't be offended by that, and I'm like, well, you shouldn't be saying that anyway. But
Yeah.
the fact that you think you're comfortable to say that to me, it makes me feel weird.
I bet that's weird.
It really is.
I feel like I bring up the fat stuff before someone else can, so that way they know that I'm already aware. Like
I do
it can never be a surprise to
right?
someone that
if
like
I make fun of me, you can't make fun of me.
right, because like I've already done it. That's been there, done that. You can't do that.
Oh my gosh, I've totally done that before.
Yeah, I do it all the time. I literally just did it multiple times before. So whatever.
Ooh.
Should we do one of these?
Yeah, let's
Close
do it.
off? I'll just pick a random one. So these are little cards that I found at Texas. What would
At
make
Texas.
In Texas.
Found it
in Texas? Blah blah blah. Whatever.
I went at Texas.
My son does that. Blah blah blah.
What would make the world a better place? Oh Lord.
People not tell me I'm fat. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
What would make the world a better place? Maybe getting rid of such a divide. I feel like everyone's just attacking everybody.
Living by the mentality that like other people can be different people, have different opinions, and
Yeah,
we can
live
still
and
like
let
get
live.
along.
Yeah. Like,
And
I don't agree
care
with
about
that,
other
but like,
people.
I'm not going to put that,
Right.
you know.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
100%. That was exactly what I was going to say. So,
I wish it was more like that. Yeah.
I think if calories didn't make you fat,
oh hell yeah,
that would absolutely make the world a better place.
hell yeah. If sugar wasn't like the bane of everyone's existence,
Yeah.
But would it make people more vain?
maybe, but
I don't know. I could eat whatever. I'm just thinking about me. I don't care about other people.
See, that's a little vain, isn't it?
yeah. But you know what? I don't necessarily believe that whole thing that like. What was I just gonna say? Forgot. like as I was saying it. Like if you're skinnier, then you're not going to, like, that doesn't mean you're going to be happier type of thing.
Yes.
That's true.
I don't
could agree with
necessarily
that.
believe that that's true.
I think that's true for me. Yeah.
No, because you're skinnier, then you will be happier.
If I was skinnier, I would be happier. Yes.
Yes. And I'm saying people say just because you're skinnier doesn't mean you're going to be happier.
Yes.
And I think
They're
that's
wrong.
bullshit.
Yes.
Like, I'm not saying that skinny people don't still have issues, because
Yes.
obviously.
Right. But they have one less.
But like, yeah. And I feel like weight is like,
They have 99 problems and
So
their weight
traumatic.
ain't one. Yeah.
That's why I can't really sympathize with celebrities sometimes. I'm like, whatever.
I mean, and they have access to like the most ridiculous things because of their wealth status.
Yeah,
And
they
their
can
celebrity
have
status. So
all
like,
of these
Personal trainer,
Yeah.
medical
chef,
spas.
Yeah.
nannies,
yeah.
everything
Lipo.
at like their fingertips.
Ozempic.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Us poor people, we can't afford Ozempic because
Right.
it's expensive.
Exactly. And I just,
And I'd like to see the side effects down the road with that.
True.
yeah.
That's why I haven't done it. Well, and because of other reasons, but like that's why I haven't thought about it. So
Yeah.
It would be nice, but
yeah, it would.
I just have to let naturally, get my brain in that state of like, okay, let's just maybe
know.
cut the sugars and be a little bit more active. And it's hard to do in the wintertime because in the wintertime, I just want to sit and
Yep.
cuddle.
I have loved myself into a smaller size and I have hated myself into a smaller size. And it is so much more sustainable to love yourself, but it is hard to get to that place. It's hard. And there
Yep.
we go. Wrapped it back around to bodies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. Thanks for
This is our
listening.
body episode.
Body, yada, yada, yada.
Yes.
Love it.
This has been Hannah.
Jinx.
Calissa.
And Sarah.
Bye.